How's everything going for the show? I know you guys got a show this weekend coming up. What's Saturday, huh?
We're looking forward to it. It's a festival from our record company, and we played there 2 or 3 years ago, and it's a pretty good festival with very, very big bands. And we're gonna play. Steelart's gonna play as well, so we're pretty looking forward to it.
I'll tell you what, I did the review of the album, and I've been a fan since 2010 when you guys did New Religion, and that. Let me tell you this, Joel. This is from a fan's point too. I think you guys are definitely one of the best bands right now, no doubt in my mind.
Right, thanks. Nice to hear. It's kind of sad that we've never been able to come to the US to play, because that's a big dream for many of us to actually go over there and play. Like kind of live the thing, but the thing is that Chris, our new guitar player, he has been there and played a couple shows with his old band, but we have never been able to work it out. There's never been any festivals or something like that wants to have us there, and since it costs so much with the visas and stuff like that, we haven't been able to come over.
That's one of the way it is with a lot of bands. Just trying to get them over to the U.S. The logistics, trying to get not only 4 or 5 members over with visas, but with all the equipment and all that stuff, just trying to get it over. Yeah, that has to be tough.
The equipment is usually not that hard, because we have like this digital amplifier, so you can actually bring that in a normal suitcase. And for the drums, I usually can play on most things. I've been playing on everything when we're out of Sweden, because I've never been able to bring my own drum kit, because we've never done a tour per se on a tour bus except one time, and that was in England in 2008. Otherwise, we usually play on like support band stuff for the festivals, equipment and stuff like that. So I'm pretty used to playing on everything. So the equipment-wise, it's not a problem. The problem is the visas, because the visas cost, in US dollars, it's about $3,000 more or less.
Okay, yeah, you're looking at for 4 guys, $12,000 just to get over. So that's that's a good bit of money.
No. I actually think it's $3,000 for all of us.
Okay.
But it's still, you have to talk to somebody about you have to like flight payments, and somebody needs to drive there and stuff like that. So it kind of adds up to a lot of money in the end.
Right, exactly. It's a shame too. I mean, to be able to see, so a lot of the foreign bands, you guys really got it kicking over there.
Yeah, we got a pretty many good bands, but most of them have called it quits. Chris Barber called it quits about half a year ago. Crash Diet, I'm pretty sure that they have called it quits as well, since all the trouble they had with singers over the years. And I haven't heard a word about anything about new album or nothing. I know that Martin, the guitarist, he has his own solo project, and he plays with a band called Sister as well. But in the Crash Diet camp, I heard nothing.
We actually got to see those guys here in the U.S. in 2012 on the Savage Playground tour, Crash Diet.
Oh, Crash Diet, yeah. I saw some pictures. They were in New York, I think.
Yeah, they came to Pittsburgh. They were at a little club called 31st Street Pub, and I was so shocked that they came here, and we met all the guys, and it was awesome, to see a band like that actually come over to the States and then play Pittsburgh nonetheless.
But where are you from? You're from...
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Oh, you're from Pittsburgh?
From Pittsburgh.
You're from Pittsburgh, all right.
Yep.
Steelers fan then?
Absolutely. Absolutely,
great.
Well, some of the questions, like I said, I've been a fan for a long time, and how did the band get started? I mean, you guys, from the start to to where you are now, and that's a lot of good music coming out of that camp. I'll tell you what.
Thanks, man.
Sure.
Actually, we started. Me and Danny are the only original members left, as you probably know by now. But we actually played together since '98. We played in an obscure metal band together. It was probably the most schizophrenic band ever, actually, because I was very heavily into death metal. Our guitarist was actually Vic from Hardcore Superstar. He was very much into like bands like Pantera and stuff like that.
Right.
And Danny played bass at the time, and he was totally into this power metal stuff. So you can imagine how the sound it was.
That's a lot of variations, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was very, very special. It was kind of good, but how we ever wrote songs together is a fucking miracle. But
right. Yeah, that's. I gotta turn this off here. I'm getting it clicking from this fan. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, when you put out like I got the disc here, New Religion, and actually what really started when I first heard you guys was Riot Avenue. It was right at that time when that album was released, and that's kind of what got me involved, and I've just been a fan ever since.
Alright, cool, nice there.
When you guys wrote New Religion, I know you brought out Loud Minority, and it was kind of like an indie release.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, we actually did a single, Heroes of Forever. We did a demo of that as a single, just to put something out, because we had put out a lot of demos before of a lot of songs, but never really got the reply we were hoping for, since the scene was so big. But the Heroes of Forever single is actually, we got us in contact with a dude called Mike, who owned like this small own label called Sweet Metal, and he offered us, well, I can't really call it a contract since we paid for everything ourselves, but he distributed it nonetheless. And but the La Minority album was an album we needed to do, I think, because the La Minority album is sort of diverse, because it had songs from 2002 up to that point in 2007. And some of the songs, maybe we are 2 songs on the album, 3 songs, were actually pretty new in comparison to the other songs. Which, even though I like the album, you can actually hear that it's a long time frame between the songs, because there's not that unison in the sound.
Right.
In a difference to New Religion, there's more songs that are written more or less at that time, or with like a margin of 1 year or 2 years before that. So you can hear New Religion. It's a more unison album.
Right.
But yeah, but the La Minority album is just out in 5,000 copies, so it's actually this kind of collector item now, more or less.
Right. That's one I have to get. I have everything else. I got to go get that one now. When you
I don't know if you can. Maybe you can find it on eBay, but I don't know where you can find it otherwise.
Right, I have to search for it. I'll keep looking.
Yeah.
I'll definitely keep looking.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of the songs that you guys write, which is I think it's excellent. It's kind of a from my era, probably from your era too. Just growing up with like Skid Row and Dokken and Def Leppard. I think that's the best 3 to describe what you guys do. The big choruses, which I think are awesome, and like I said in the review, the a Crazy Lixx song, you're never going to forget the chorus.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think that's cool.
Actually, the Dokken resemblance kind of struck us as odd, because I don't know about the other guys, but I have actually never heard Dokken. I just heard the name.
Okay.
But Skid Row and Def Leppard were big. Here comes my son. What's up, baby boy? Chippy, vad har du gjort på armarna? Kom, ska du säga hej till John?
He wants to get in on the interview. Hey, buddy.
Ska jag säga till John? Say hi.
Hi.
He's kind of shy. He gets shy the first 5 minutes. He probably thought it was Grandpa, because he usually talks to my father on Viber, because he lives in Spain. So he usually comes and check out what's going on. So we saw he was kind of, what the hell is that?
So who's this guy?
Who the hell is that, actually?
That's cool though. I'm glad that they have this
Yeah.
now. That we could actually do interviews like this and talk to you guys over there,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. This is the first time I should do an interview through Skype. I usually do the mail interview, the emails interview.
Right.
Because usually the people wants to talk to Danny, of course, because he's the main songwriter. But he gets so many interviews, and sometimes he says, "Go, can somebody take this?"
Right.
And when you wrote, I took it upon myself. Going, yeah, but I can do it. I have some time, so.
That's cool.
What's up?
That's what we
sorry.
like to do over here. We're our main thing with the business is to get the word out for you guys. I mean, being fans for so long and following the scene and really getting into the music. That's what we like to do. We like to interview the guys. See what the what's behind the writing of the music and the new albums and things, and then just and get the word out for you, because that's the main thing. We want you to be heard over here in the U.S.
Yeah, we really appreciate it, because it's kind of hard since MTV doesn't play music anymore. The problem is, I actually tried to look up like radio stations in the US that might take us on, but like college radios and stuff like that. Because I have a friend of mine, his band is they actually got a song on a college radio, which actually made them pretty popular. I think it was in Boston or something like that. And now they're pretty much touring everywhere in America because of that. I tried to find like college radios, or I tried to look up universities and tried to ask them, do you have a college radio? Can I send you some songs? But nobody replied. So it's extremely hard nowadays to find those listeners. So people like you are very, very welcome indeed to spread the word, and we really appreciate that somebody actually takes their time over the day to spread out the word about our band, because we're just 5 guys from Malmö, Sweden, who just wants to play rock and roll.
Right, we have I have a guy. In fact, I got the shirt on right now. It's called Metal Heart Radio. I don't know if you could see it.
Yeah.
This guy's a good friend of mine.
MCLA.
Yeah, he's WJJW. He's a friend of mine, and we actually got a band from Finland called State of Emergency on.
All right.
There's a couple.
Just a second, John.
Oh, sure.
My wife's just gonna take my kid because he's in some kind of, I don't know, sleepy mode. Sippi, gå med mamma så kommer pappa snart, okej? Okay? Ska du byta blöja och sen gå och lägga dig? Sorry about that, John.
No worries, Joel. I get like I get the dog barking, and that we did an interview with Steve Blaze from Lily and Axe. If you ever heard of those guys.
No, sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm so bad at checking out new bands and stuff like that. Because I just usually go to the gym and listen to music, or in the bus. I try to listen to new music, but when I'm in the gym, I usually just listen to 80s records all the time.
Right.
Yeah, it was stuff I listened to when I was a child and stuff like that, and things that got me into like the metal scene and hard rock scene when I was young. So I usually never listen to new bands, well, with few exceptions. So it's usually the old bands. So if you'd like to afterwards, if you think there's some bands that you think that I might enjoy, you can maybe messenger me the names, and I can check them out.
Sure.
He came running in again. My wife actually had to grab him.
Not a problem.
The life of a rock star, right?
Hey, that happens. Well, like I was telling you, that interview with Steve, Lily and Axe has been around since 1988, and we did an interview with him, and he was in a car, and there was an accident in front of him. There was a car that flipped over right during the interview. So anything that happens like outside, on an interview, believe me, once we've seen a car accident on an interview, we've seen it all.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
shit. I hope it was nothing serious, though.
Well, he said, he saw the guy moving in there, and he got out, so everything was okay. But it was just like, crazy to see it, to hear it, because we're talking to him right when it happened. So, never know.
You have to be safe when you're driving, right?
That's it. Yeah, you just never know. How about you guys, you released Ruff Justice on the 21st, and
Yeah.
how's the album doing for you so far? I mean, it's fantastic. It's vintage Crazy Lixx, all the hooks, all the everything that you expect out of the album. I mean, it's a classic, classic.
The reviews have been fantastic. Like people like you yourself have given it great reviews, and we actually were a bit not starstruck, but kind of surprised because we ourselves thought it was going to be our best album to date, because we felt that after all the hardship we've been through with different guitarists and wondering if we should continue or not, and when we wrote these songs, or actually when Danny wrote the songs, it was when we started recording it, because the new guitarists they have a great knowledge of when it comes to sound. And we use digital amplifiers like at Axe Effect or stuff like that. And because of that, and the knowledge they had, we can actually find all the sounds we were looking for a specific song. I don't know if you listen to like an album like Right Avenue. It's a good album, but it's not that diverse. It's just two guitar sounds, or one guitar sound actually, two guitars, and even though we wanted to downscale a little bit, I think we went on the wrong path.
Right.
Because I think some of the songs are perfect for that sound, and some of the songs could actually be better if they had a bigger production. But at that time, we wanted to try it. And, well, some people love the album, like yourself, and some people say, well, it's probably the worst album we have made. And, well, it is what it is, right? But Ruff Justice have been, all of what we heard so far has been great reviews. The Wild Child video we did is actually, it's not even a month out, and it's already up to 170,000 views on the YouTube. And considering all the other videos, except for Heavyweights and Women, are well below 120,000, there's something tells you that there's a buzz.
Right.
And we noticed that people have been looking at us more now than before, and some people who thought we were dead or like, oh shit, the Crazy Lixx are back.
Right.
They're still alive. I didn't even know that. And many new fans as well was talking about, oh, I'd never heard about this band before, but it sounds great, and it sounds vintage, like you said. Ruff Justice sounds very, very rustic 80s, but still kind of like a modern twist. But it's still an 80s record, more or less. Right. And that's what we aimed for.
I agree with you. It's a great album, and it's good to hear that the fans are becoming more receptive now too. I think it seems like there's a swing now where here in America that the younger people are starting to listen to the bands that actually play their own instruments. That's the best way for me to put it. Some of the things over here just, it's like, come on, guys. Yeah. But that album right there. How did you guys? How was the songwriting process going into this? I know you came back from the self-titled album and yeah. And it did.
It was actually the game. You probably know that we're going to be in this Friday the 13th game. We have 3 songs on there.
Right.
And that was actually the starting point, because the summer of 2015, we already knew that Ed had left the band. We are pretty much known for a long time, and all of a sudden, when we were supposed to do the last 2 gigs for the summer, we did a festival in Italy, and we did Bang Your Head Festival in Germany, which we were also going to do a live recording, which the live album is from that concert. He told us like a week before that he got an offer to be in this band Inglorious, and he thought that, well, he wanted to try it. Maybe I don't know if it was tired of Crazy Lixx, or he wanted a new challenge, or what it was. I'm not sure, but he told us, and we pretty much knew. And after that, we sat down. Me, Jens, and Danny sat down and talked about what are we supposed to do now. Are we supposed to do something about this? Are we going to continue the band? Are we just going to call it quits? What are we going to do? Because we had been through the guitar searching process a couple of times. With first when Vic left, and when we also brought in Ed, which was Andy's friend after a New Religion album and stuff like that. And we know that Ed and Adde are fantastic guitarists, so it's pretty hard to replace them. But we already had Jens. He had been backing up for the 2 gigs that summer. So, and he was actually our first fan. We used to have this fan base when we were out touring during the demo days, where we had this Crazy Lixx fan base and we can become a member, and he was number 1. And that was cool. 10 years ago, and he was like 17 or something like that.
Right.
So we knew that he worked fine at the guitarist department. So we talked about it, and Danny was probably the most pessimistic of the 3 of us. Me and Jens were actually like, but we could find somebody. Let's just try it. And he was like, no, I'm not sure. And finally we said, let's give it a go. And we found, we already had Jens more or less. We wanted to try out guys anyway, but we more or less knew that Jens was going to be in the band in that case. And Chrissy came in and did a great work, and because of that we knew we had a band at least. And at the same time, these guys contacted Danny and said, we're going to do this tribute game for Friday the 13th, and we did this on a crowdfunding, I think it was. And we said, sure, why not? And Danny actually sat down and wrote 2 songs that was totally inspired of the horror film of Jason. And we got 2 songs, we really liked it, they loved it. So they got those 2 songs, and actually one song that we recorded a year before maybe, that we were supposed to use in a musical competition, but we never got in, so we had like an extra song, so we asked them to want that as well. And in the end, instead of 2 songs, they took 3 for the game.
Right.
And at the same time, there was this big buzz. These guys got bigger and bigger with the game, and it was a much bigger buzz than we used to. We thought it's become much bigger than any one of us thought it was going to be at first. It actually got sponsors for it, and I think they got not the rights for the name, but they got able to use it and stuff. I don't know how all that stuff works, but that kind of kicked our asses a little bit.
Right.
So we was like, maybe we should try to do an album with this. We have 3 songs. The record company actually said, but we really like those songs. Maybe we could start working on an album. And at first we said, well, let's do it like we did on the last album. Let's take like a year and record it. So we just take a couple of songs at a time. Because we have, on this album, on the last one, we actually gone away from what you usually do when you record an album. Normally you write 12 songs, you go into the studio, you put like 2 days on drums, and then you do bass and guitars, and you do everything in like 2 weeks. The last album, this album, we've done like this, that we have 2 songs, 3 songs that we agree on that these should be on the album, and then we record them. And then we wait for like a month or 2 to then start recording 2 or 3 other songs, which we're all voting for, which songs we should record. But all of a sudden, the record company was, we want the album in like 8 months, and we're like, okay. But the songs weren't even written, so we started looking at the old demo songs like Danny made and different stuff that Chris and Jens and the other Jens. We have 2 Jenses in the band.
Right.
But the bass is Jens, so they wrote stuff and we listened to it. None of it really made the cut, even though they were good stuff. But Danny is the heart and soul of this band. You can't deny it. He's been the main songwriter for 15 years. He knows what the Crazy Lixx sound is. Not only because he's the singer, but he also is a songwriter. Right. Hey, älskling. He escaped his mother. And my dog got pissed off. Ta honom i hand, älskling.
Hey, bud.
Ska du säga? Chip, ska du säga?
Hey.
No. Ta honom i hand, älskling. He actually speaks English.
Oh, yeah?
He watches Sesame Street.
Oh, that's
on the YouTube.
That's a good show. That's what we all grew up on.
He said no to his mother right now. Don't take me, no.
He wants to be part of the interview with Dad. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
So something like that. He wants to do something at least. I'm not sure if he wants to help though. Maybe more destroy. I'm not sure. I don't know. 3-year-olds. I don't know how you know if you have kids, but you know how they are.
I know exactly. Know exactly.
Do you have kids?
I don't have kids, but my brother has 2 young ones, and we actually have my fiance's niece just had a baby. She's only about a week and a half old, so we got them running around and up and coming. So
that's fun. Now where was I? What were we talking about? The album, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, of course. And so we actually, Danny. It's kind of funny thing with Danny because when he gets stressed and time is running out, he usually banks out these songs. I don't know, he's kind of like a machine at those times. So he brought us a lot of songs. Some of them were old demos we had modified and stuff like that. Right. But most of the songs of the album were his, except for one song which was what's it called? Needle of Love. Okay. That was actually a song that some other band made in 1989 or something like that. And we remade it and recorded it. I'm not sure about the story about that. I just got the song and it says, record these drums. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But the song Snakes in Paradise was actually, Danny got an idea from a riff and this melody, guitar melody that Chrissy wrote. And he took him and he kind of changed a little bit and upped the tempo. And the result is Snakes in Paradise. But all of the other songs are Danny's. We all have input, like we can discuss maybe a drum fill or a beat or a bass line and stuff like that. And Danny's pretty receptive when it comes to taking in other people's ideas. Right. But maybe. His mother is looking angry at him right now. No, Mom. Just say it to John.
Hey, buddy. Hey, when you're 3, you want to play. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, he's so tired as well. He's actually waiting for me because I'm the one who takes him to bed. He's kind of used to it. Yeah. His mother can do it, but usually it has to be me. So he's kind of like this overtired now and just trying to be a little bit hair-raising as much as he can.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. No, but the album is what it is right now. We kind of stressed a little bit because we had a lot of work to do in December, and the record company wanted the album in late January, and Chris Laney, who's mixed it, he also had a lot of other stuff to do, so we had to have the album be done before Christmas. Right. So it was stressful in the end, but as we can hear by the result, we are very satisfied with the result, and apparently so is many other people, like you, for instance, and other people that reviewed it. Chibi, kolla, Peppa Pig. Titta.
It really is when you guys do, really anything. Like I said, just you know what you get from it. It's a great sound. All the songs are, like I said in my review. If you're going to get into the car and you're going to throw out a song, you're going to roll the windows down, I'm going to put a Crazy Lixx in first thing. I'm serious. It's that good. I mean, you want to jam, you want to hear that the big choruses, the big guitars, the big, drums, everything. And you guys definitely pack it. It's great to hear it. It really is.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
How about as far as the festival? What are you guys looking for in that? I know you got a 55-minute set. And you got a lot of big bands you're playing with too. We just interviewed Tony with TNT a couple nights ago, so that's really cool.
I know the other guys. That's the problem. I've never heard TNT as well, so this is gonna be first for me.
Oh, you'll love them. You'll love them.
Yeah, probably will. I'm looking forward to see Steelheart, and I'm looking forward to see TNT as well. We played actually before Steelheart at the Nottingham Festival, and the only thing I knew about them was the Rockstar soundtrack, of course, like many other people. Right. But they were really good, and that guy can sing. I've never. It was kind of fun because he looks like this Bosnian mafia dude, and he sings like this fantastic voice. I remember him taking the mic away like a whole meter away from his mouth, and it was still like this high vibrato, and you can just hear it piercing through your ears. I'm like, how the hell did he do that?
Right. Yeah, he's amazing. He is amazing.
Yeah. Still, after all this time, he can still sing that well. All of us was like, holy shit, did he actually sing like that?
Yeah,
so we were impressed by him.
He's amazing.
But otherwise, we played Italy a bunch of times, and usually we have a pretty good following there, and we know there's a lot of people who have spoken to us and emailed us and say, oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys at Frontiers Festival. So in our case, it's just, let's do this. We're looking forward to it, and it's kind of fun to do it with this new setup with the band. With this new setup, and because there's like this harmony in the band now. Nothing bad about Ed or Ad at all, but the unity we have now as a band when it comes to the sound we have, how we work together, and how everybody does the work, it's different now, and it's a good difference. It's a good feeling in the band. We're all very tight. We can all enjoy each other's company. We haven't had a single argument like this, like fight argument, for almost a year and a half now.
That's great.
And you can't. It's not always you hear that when it comes to bands. Because when you're so tight with somebody and you go to these 6 hours drive, 7 hours trips, and you spend so much time together, there's always bound to be some friction or some arguments and stuff like that. But it hasn't happened for a year and a half, and that's new to me. I'm played in bands since I was 12, and I've never been in a band where there's just some form of argument, either if you're having a fight about songs or if it's something else. But to have the band now, and everybody's, we need to do this. Okay. Yeah, we need to do this. Okay. And everybody does their part of the work. That's pretty amazing feeling.
That's cool. And be able to, to put an album together and work together like that when you don't have any stress, that makes the songwriting process that much better.
Yeah, the songwriting process is hard for me to explain because Danny writes the songs.
Right.
But me and him have worked together since '98, so it's almost 20 years. And he knows what he can get from me, and I know what I can get from him. And I know I can discuss stuff with him if there's something with the drums I feel needs to be more or less or stuff like that. We actually had a discussion where he said, shouldn't you do more fills and stuff like this, or like these wacky things on the drums? And I said, well, no, I don't think the songs need it.
Right.
So that's probably the first time ever a drummer says, no, let's do less.
Hey, it's nice to have that input, though, as a drummer, huh?
Yeah. Especially since nobody recognizes me anyway. So.
Well, they should. You do a damn good job, man. I'll tell you what.
Thanks, man. I know. I mean, a parent's wife. Normally, people don't know who I am afterward a gig.
Hey, we'll make it known this time, Joel. We'll make it known.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
No problem. Hey, I'm gonna get the word out to some of these college radio stations and get you guys some play out here with that new album.
Cool,
I'll definitely I'll get my buddy Mickey to get you out there. I know he's a fan already, so
all right,
we'll get the word out for you. And how about any last words? Anything that you want to get out there to the fans?
To the U.S. fans, we really, really hope that this album can not break us out there, but hopefully the album is so pass well received that we were able to come there. We really want to come over to the US, but we want to do it properly. We don't want to go there without the visas and stuff like that, because I personally love America. I've been there 4 times with my family in Florida, and I don't want to, since you have Trump there, I think if I don't have visas, I'm probably never going to get in again.
Right,
so
right.
I really need the visas.
They did that to Loudness. Did you hear that? That band Loudness from Japan?
No.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, they tried to.
Oh, what a bummer.
They were supposed to play the M3 festival out here in Maryland, and they were already booked. And in fact, they had a small U.S. tour booked, and they had issues with the visa, so they had to totally cancel the tour. It was a big mess. Right.
That's a bummer.
Right.
Actually, I have a fun story about that. The first time I came to the U.S., I almost didn't get in.
Oh, not good.
But I did the ESTA thing, and everything was fine, and we were on the plane, and everything was fine. And when we got to the border, I got up to the counter, and there was this big police guy, and he said, and he told me, and he asked me, he looked at my papers and went, "Is this the first time in the U.S.?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Are you sure?" And then I got confused, because I was thinking about maybe my mother went with me to U.S. when I was a baby, but I have never heard anything about me being to U.S.
Right.
So I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that." And he said, "Yeah, just wait here." And I was like,
no.
"Oh shit!" So he went away, and then he came back, and he had this picture of a guy with the same birth certificate as me. He had the same numbers, and he was wanted by the CIA.
Oh man.
So he said, luckily there was a picture of the guy, and he didn't look like anything like me. So he said, "Well, if this would have been you, you would have gotten in."
Right.
So, okay, I can understand that. He said, "Yeah, this guy's wanted by the CIA. He's probably going to get 20 to 25 years in prison."
Wow.
I'm like, "Well, it's not me, sir. I'm pretty sure it's not me."
Wow, that's a story there, Joe. I'll tell you what.
You feel free to print that. Now, to the fans, we're really hoping to come to the U.S. as soon as possible. It's a big dream of ours, and if not for crossing over the bucket list and actually meeting our U.S. fans, because we have many U.S. people that have written to us and say, "Oh, please come to the U.S. and have the album." And you, John, of course, have been very excited about it. So we really want to come. So we hope to come in the near future.
We hope to have you. I got to tell everybody, everybody that listens to this, please, go out and get Ruff Justice. Listen to Crazy Lixx, because these guys are the true deal. I mean, since if you like 80s metal, 80s, 90s metal, with some modern influences, listen to these guys, because it is, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Thanks, man.
Really do. All right, Joe. Like I said, I'll get the word out for you guys, and I wish you the best with the new album. I hope it kills for you.
Thanks,
hope the Frontiers Festival, I hope the fans rock, and I know they will. And we'll do our best to get the word out for the U.S. to you, man, because I want you here. I'd love to hear you.
I appreciate it, man. You'll be the first one on the guest list, I promise.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'll push for it, man. I'll push for it.
All right, John.
All right, Joe.
All right, take care then, and thanks very much for the interview.
Oh, thanks for your time, man. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to speak to you, man. Really.
No problem, man. We keep in touch on the messenger. All right.
You got it, man. See you, Joe.
All right, take care, man.
Thanks a lot,
See
man.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.